parties, any kind of party where you're going to have dessert. So pretty much any kind. We're going to also, the same kind of concept I teach you for this is also going to stand for if you want to make some little cupcakes, or even just use the regular standard ice cream cones because they do sit flush. I found I like the look of the waffle cone the best, so that's what we're going to learn today. So with that in mind, let's get started. And for all of these, the base, I recommend doubling up on them. I went ahead and glued 2 of these together. Just kind of provides a little bit more stability since we're going to be adding in weight and a little moisture. Next, I'm going to take some saran wrap or a baggie, whatever you have, and you want to line the inside of the cone because again, we're going to have that water source and you don't want this to get soggy and cave in on you. Next, I just took a piece of Oasis floral foam, obviously wet, and just kind of cut it to similar width as what's in the inside of your cone. You want it to be a little snug when you fit it in there, just so it kind of stays in place. And I cut it so it would be a little bit more above. You can cut it higher if you're hoping to go higher. These again are pretty fragile, so I keep them at a minimum height. If you feel you need some more security, there's also Floral Oasis glue that you can put in there as well, and it'll kind of help your foam stay in place. Next, let's talk flowers. So I went to Mayesh, and obviously there's so much to choose from. These are just a few of the things that I picked out for today's project. Depending on what colors and theme you're going with, I found a lot of texture. You can't go wrong. So I picked up some Mariana roses, love the color, kind of that sherbet color, and then kind of stayed more in the pastels. Freesia is great, the texture, the scent, everybody loves Freesia. And it has a little bit of that greenery in there too, that just adds a feminine look. Then I picked out some little button Kermit mums. The color's great, and for building that, height, it works really well. Ranunculus is great texture. Also orchids are very useful if you want to build a freer kind of flowing more look. And just a variety of mums, some fillers, and some greeneries that we're going to use. But honestly, the best floral I found for these is going to be carnations. And thankfully, Mayesh offers so many colors and varieties. And so for this one, I just picked a nice creamy peach, something neutral. And I went ahead and cut about, I'd say, 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch below the semen part, like just so that you can have a little bit more security, something to push into here. So what I do is I take the carnations first, kind of just form a little collar, and just start placing them in there. Start with the side. I don't typically go the whole way around. I just start on one side, curve to the other side. And the great thing about carns is you can kind of move those outer petals around, and they're going to kind of fill in those spots that you need while creating that look that we want. So just keep going around the edge, and you'll come back to the other side. So you formed that V look again that we were looking for. Next, I think I'm going to go with a rose. And I think that'll be more of our focal point. cut out 2 inches from the head of the flower. And I'm just going to go right into the center with that. Sometimes you gotta kind of make it a little snug in there. But that's working really well. So it's kind of our focal point. And then I think next I'm going to use some of our freesia. I cut it about a couple inches, 2.5 inches from the head. And again, I'm still building on that height in the back, so I kind of want to play with it, see what kind of look we can give with that. And again, I like that little bit of greenery adding into there. I'm going to go ahead and use one of the other roses and fill in the back where you still have some foam. It's best to kind of maneuver your flower head in there. Be careful not to put too much pressure below, sometimes as you're holding it, and then I've ended up crunching the cone before, so just be careful. Lastly, I'm just going to add in some mimosa greenery. I think I like the texture for one. For two, I just kind of like how it really kind of keeps it more looking like a floral, not just a ice cream cake cone. And I think that's important because sometimes we're pulling off this look for a bride or bridal shower or just another kind of an event, and it's not necessarily like a kitty look. So just have fun and play with it and use different texture greenery. Don't be afraid, and just create something fun like that. I think I might want to add in one more freesia.